beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and today we're talking about the holiday eyeshadow palettes from BH Cosmetics. I 110% blame this purchase on my friend Angie. You might know her as Angelica Nyqvist. I call her the Queen of Color. She is not only my friend, she is a YouTuber that I really trust. And I think our opinions align a lot more often than people would think. She said that this palette was on her wish list, so I purchased both of these palettes based on her recommendation. I gotta tell you, these look very different. They are completely different in every single way possible. I purchased both of my palettes from Ulta, and I want to talk about the Nice palette first because this is my least favorite one, so I just want to get it over with. This is retail priced at $12 US. I think the super Christmassy holiday packaging is really cute. A lot of brands choose not to go in that direction. I kind of like either way, but full on holiday or a holiday collection that's not at all like Christmassy or holiday. I like both. I do think this is really cute, has a little Christmas sweater vibe about it. This packaging is all cardboard and it does have a magnetic closure. Before we get to the inside of the palette, I want to show you the little plastic wrapper that this palette came in because there are some eye safety warnings. If you know me, you know I always like to point these out. And the warnings are not anywhere on the actual palette, they're just on this little plastic wrapper. So make sure you pay attention to packaging like this, especially if you are somebody that is sensitive to certain pigments. This is a good place to check because a lot of the time the warning will be on here. So let's take a look-see. So down here it says, pressed pigment shadows, Brandy, Slay, and Jolly are not intended for use around the immediate eye area. That's likely because they contain certain pigments that can cause staining or irritation. Some people are allergic to these pigments, and trust me, the eye is not a place that you want to experience an allergic reaction, a rash, a hive. It's not good news. So if you're not sure if you are sensitive to these pigments, I always recommend doing a patch test. Just apply some of the shadow to the inside of your arm. This nice thin skin here is somewhat similar to the thinner skin around the eye. Put a little bit of the shadow on there. Leave it there for a while. See if you get any rash, any reaction. If not, you're good to go. And if you do, then you have saved yourself an allergic reaction on your eyelid, which is always a good thing to avoid. Now, let's take a look at the inside of the palette. When you open up here, the Nice palette does have a mirror inside, and then all 16 shades are laid out in 4 rows of 4. All the shade names are inside next to the pans. So just a reminder, the shadows with the pigment warning are Brandy, Slay, and Jolly. And when I was swatching, I did get a decent amount of staining with Jolly, but that was the only one that really stained my skin, was this red Jolly. We have 6 true matte shades in here, 1 matte with glitter, that's Jolly, and then the rest are shimmers. And I just want to give you a quick comparison here. I have my Making Mauves palette out on my vanity, so I just wanted you to see that the pan sizes in the BH Cosmetics Nice palette are super teeny tiny. They're much smaller than these ColourPop shadows. Now there are a lot of them and I do like the overall size of this little palette. I just wanted to point out that the shadows themselves are super teeny tiny. I was pretty surprised when this arrived. I was expecting this to be a little bit larger and have some larger shadows. For the price, I shouldn't be surprised. I'm not upset. I just wanted to give you a reasonable expectation if you do decide to pick this palette up. So let's go ahead and take a look at the swatches of this Nice palette. I will be showing you both finger and brush swatches. Finger swatches are pictured on top and each brush swatch is below. All the swatches are done on the inside of my arm with no primer down first, just the shadows straight onto my skin. As always, for my brush swatches, I'll be using my e.l.f. flat eyeshadow brush, and I'll clean the brush off in between each shade using my Mino color switch. That way there's no shadow transfer between swatches. So let's look at the Nice palette swatches now. I'm just gonna cut to the chase on this Nice palette. I don't like it. I don't think that the quality is great. It's not terrible by any means. I feel like you could tell from the swatches that the performance of these shadows is just pretty lackluster. It's really inconsistent. I felt that overall the mattes were really patchy and uneven and really hard to build up any decent pigmentation. The deeper mattes did perform a little bit better than the lighter ones, but overall it was just a really inconsistent application, really inconsistent performance. I tend to think of shimmers being more intense with a fingertip application, but these actually looked a little bit better with the brush application. Again, just really inconsistent performance. Some of the shimmers were really bright and really smooth. Others felt dry and patchy. All in all, I don't really like this palette. I don't think it's great, and especially once you see the Naughty palette, this one just really pales in comparison. Definitely not the worst palette I've ever used, but I just didn't really like it, and I don't see myself ever reaching for this palette or really even thinking about it, so this one is a pass for me. Now, let's talk about this guy. This is the Naughty palette. It is really big. This one has 30 shadows. They are much larger, as you can see. This palette's bigger than my whole head. This one was priced at $29 US. Similar style on the packaging, this ugly Christmas sweater vibe. I think this is really cute. This would make a great gift too. It's just very fun, very seasonal. I'm here for it. I like how it's kind of wintry too, so even if you are not somebody who celebrates Christmas, it's still overall can read really wintry. I definitely see Christmas when I see this, but this could just be a winter sweater instead of a Christmas sweater. So, you know, all holidays are welcome to enjoy this palette. Okay, don't shoot the messenger. I know people for some reason, get really upset with me when I point out the eye safety warnings. I'm not the one that put them here. You know, if you have a problem with this palette having eye safety warnings, take it up with the FDA and BH Cosmetics. I didn't decide to put them here, but it's my job to give you the information, and that's what I'm gonna do. And a bunch of these shades have eye safety warnings, and there's 2 pressed glitters in here. So I'm just gonna tell you what this says. You make an adult decision of what you're gonna do with your own eye health and safety. Personally, I don't like to use pressed glitters on my eyes. I know a lot of people do. I'm just giving you the info so you can make an informed decision because I care about you. So we have a very similar warning here. Pressed pigment shadows are not intended for use around the immediate eye area, and the very specifically called face and body glitter shadows, okay, face and body is what they say it's for, are not intended for use around the immediate eye area. They're all listed up here, so I'm going to point them out inside the palette because this gets pretty difficult to read in my opinion. Big old block of text. Gotta love it. Same deal with this one for the pressed pigments. Just do a patch test. If you don't have a reaction, you're good to go. Totally fine. Personally, I don't have any sort of reaction to these pigments, and I can use these shadows with no problem, but it's just better safe than sorry when it comes to your eyes. You know what I'm saying? So we still have the heavy duty cardboard packaging. This one also has a magnetic closure, and we have no mirror in the big palette here. So I think the two pressed glitters are pretty obvious. This one called Jingle Bells and this one down here called Chestnuts. Those are the two that are marked as face and body glitters. They are small little glitter particles, but I still just don't like to use them on my eyes. There are 14 shadows in here that have the pigment warnings. So I'm going to just show you a close-up here, and I will put a little star on the shades that have the pigment warning so that you know to patch test those if you're not sure how you react to those red pigments. Since it's like half the palette, I think this way's easier. Okay, let's take a look at the swatches of this Naughty palette now. I use the same method for swatching this one, so let's take a look at those swatches now. From the second that I touched this palette, I could tell that this was leaps and bounds better formula-wise than the Nice palette. They don't even feel like they're made by the same company. It's so insanely different formula-wise that I don't even know why this exists, why this formula exists, why did they even make this? Because this is just so noticeably better in every way. The mattes in here are super soft, easy to blend, insanely pigmented. Even shades that are really notoriously difficult to get a nice smooth formula on, like this sort of bright bluish purple, a more deep purple, these kind of shades are notoriously dry, patchy, crumbly. And these are beautiful, stunning. I know exactly why Angie told me to buy this palette because it is incredible. Literally the only thing I don't like about this palette is that it has the two pressed glitters that I'm never going to use. I just don't like pressed glitters. But the colors in here are gorgeous. At first glance, I thought it looked a little bit all over the place, but it's super easy to use. I'm gonna get a ton of looks out of this. I can't tell you enough how much I really like this palette. I don't think I've ever really loved a BH Cosmetics palette, ever. There have been some products here and there of theirs that I liked. I love this. I have never loved one of their palettes, and I love this. It's crazy. This shade, Candied Fruit, oh my gosh. If you know me, then you know why I am so crazy about this color scheme. On top of the fact that the formula is stunning. I love purple. I'm getting some beautiful purples, rosy tones. I've got a bronze. I love mustard. I've got some beautiful mustard colors. That's what I'm wearing on my eyes today. It gives me Melt Rust palette vibes. It gives me Urban Decay Naked Honey vibes. I love both of those palettes, and this eye look looks like it came from one of those palettes. The shades in here are just the perfect mix of neutrals and jewel tones, which is what I need out of life, what I love in a palette. I know I am going crazy for this. It's so good. It's really, this is a really good palette. Did I say that enough? In conclusion, don't buy the Nice palette. Definitely buy the Naughty palette. I am so excited to play with this more. I've already decided I'm definitely doing a 3 looks 1 palette with this because I just want to show you more of what this palette has to offer, and frankly I just want an excuse to play with it more. Not that I need one, but could be fun. Now's the time when I want to hear what you think about these palettes. Are you interested in these? Have they been on your radar? What other holiday releases are you excited about? I always love to hear what you think about things too, so make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye! So which I don't recommend that you do because it's not good. Sorry about it. Wow, I don't even have my swatch brush. Like, get it together, woman. Don't do, it's so crazy. Whew. Dang it, it's good. Ugh. I never would have purchased this palette if it wasn't for Angie, honestly. BH just has not been on my radar for so long, just from kind of mediocre past products, and whoo, they upped their game. It's good. It's really good. I just wish it didn't have the damn pressed glitter. Oh, I swore. I guess that's why I'm on the naughty list. Okay. Okay. Why am I losing my voice? Probably because it's 9 o'clock at night when I'm filming. Could you tell that I liked it? Can you tell that all the mattes are already starting to hard pan after just a couple of times of swatching and playing with it? Like, look at that. No. 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 Okay. I'm gonna calm it down. I just get really excited about good eyeshadow, you know? That's my dog walking around upstairs. She just had surgery, so she's struggling a little bit. We all are. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope that whatever holiday you celebrate, or even if you don't celebrate any holidays, I just hope that you know that I love your face, and I hope that you have a happy season of any kind. Okay, love your face. Bye!